Saw Professor Wole Soyinka. Quite frankly, I wouldn't want to start immediately by saying I'm disappointed in the professor, but let me start this way. Even at my age, approaching 60, I was a student of the works of Wole Soyinka. Well, it is not in my place to measure my level of intellectuality with a Nobel laureate. However, I watched the video where Wole Soyinka was saying that Peter Obi came third, that in his person that he will affirm that Peter Obi came third, and that Peter Obi did not win the election. Really? Really? Come on. Now, my anger here right now is that if this tribalistic bias cannot cut through the level of intellectualism in a certain race of people or tribe, then where exactly is our educational input for children yet unborn going to? I expect that the whole purpose of education is to imbue rationalism in our youth that are upgrowing, such that when they are confronted with life's variable or life's debates or life issues, they are able to solve it by approaching it with rational pillars. Unfortunately, Wole Soyinka to me epitomizes that wastefulness of education that inhibits people from being rational in the face of challenging national discourse. You say Peter Obi came third, right? Let me ask you a question. That is, if this video gets to you eventually. Here in Plateau State, which I can authoritatively talk about, it was alleged that Peter Obi came first, then Tinubu came second. Really? Really? INEC wrote a script for us. Wole Soyinka, I think the Yoruba in you, Wole Soyinka, let me tell you, the Yoruba in you is stronger than the intellectual disposition that you have. Purely, that is what I see. I think in the cloud of the intellectual disposition that you have, people are failing to see the real tribal bigot that you are. Clearly, that's what you are. And I'm disappointed. You're making a shame of the whole idea of emulating a professor of your status. I feel terribly ashamed. Really, really, really ashamed. Now, I don't have any prior disposition for Peter Obi. Neither do I have any prior disposition for the Igbos. Even though in your video again you said that the labor movement or the obedient movement was good, you said you appreciate it, but up till when it turned out to be a regional movement. Really? Really? That the obedient movement is a regional movement? In other words, what you are trying to say that the obedient movement was an emulatable movement until it became an Igbo movement. You see, we've approached an internet age. Before now, the ordinary Hausa man will have a small radio to get what is happening in the world. Now is the age of social media. Everybody now knows everything all over the world. The benefit or hindsight of happenings across the world is no longer limited to the average Aboki man with his transistor radio. Social media has overtaken that archaic advantage that the Fulani man and the Hausa man have. We are now open. In fact, before now, people go for the information. Now, the information comes to us. Whether you like it or not, the information comes to you. It all depends whether you accept it or not. I feel so bad that is a man with the status of Wole Soyinka's intellectual disposition will reduce himself to this rather laughable analysis of political events in Nigeria. I feel so terrible and I feel ashamed, really, really ashamed. Are you going to tell me that Wole Soyinka, in your own truthfulness, that Tinubu won Rivers State? Come on, tell me. Dare to tell me that that is true. Are you going to tell me that in your own disposition that Tinubu won Benue State? Come on, tell me. Are you going to tell me that the margin of defeat of Peter Obi to Tinubu here in Plateau State is less than 100,000? Look, if this is how we are going to tackle this country, then we are not ready for a peaceful coexistence. All these rather unguarded statements coming from supposedly well-respectable individuals in Nigeria are only going to culminate in those little factors that will catalyze that revolution that Nigeria dearly needs. I am not asking for it, but these little things will definitely catapult and catalyze this revolution. And when that happens, no amount of guns, no amount of intimidation will stop it. I'm so very disappointed in you, Mr. Wole Soyinka. Sorry for the title. People who bear professor. The whole idea of being referred to as a professor, being referred to as a professor is attaining a level whereby your views on life's variables are points that people should use as a guiding principle for other variables that emanates. But when a professor of your status will conjecture through the streams and clouds of bias, then it becomes shameful that Nigeria could only produce a Nobel laureate that succumbs to bias. I feel very terrible. In any case, let me tell you, Mr. Wole Soyinka, that Peter Obi indeed won this election. In your rather skewed and withdrawn posture to reality, you refuse to accept this. Tinubu did not come. Look, Atiku came second, that is for sure. Peter Obi came first, Atiku second, Peter Obi, Tinubu a distant third. Whether you like it or not, that is the true disposition. INEC lied to Nigeria. My name is Magnus Oraga, and I say please follow this page and share this post.